Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. Today I'm excited to share with you my third alternative card using the October 2023 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Home for the Holidays. This beautiful kit creates 8 handmade cards. If you would like to watch me unbox the kit and create these cards, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. This week, I am creating 5 different alternative cards. These are the first 2 that I have already shared on my channel, and they are also listed in that playlist up here in the top right corner. For today's card, I incorporated some die-cut shapes to give the pieces from the kit a different look, and piecing together a new greeting from the stamps that came in the kit. If you are new to Paper Pumpkin and are interested in getting your own monthly crafting kit, you can subscribe using the link in the description below. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and help you with any questions you may have about Paper Pumpkin or Stampin' Up! Products. You can contact me through my email address, which is listed at the bottom of the description in every video. So for today's card, I'm going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies to cut out this circle here. And this is just a really great pack of dies. You have shapes like circles, squares, and then a variety of banners. And they all kind of nest together, which is really nice. They also create this fun edge to your shapes as well. And it cuts that decorative edge on the inside and outside of the die. So that's just a really fun product. So from the kit, we're going to be using this 2-house image. It's the one with the long house on the left. And we're going to begin by cutting a large circle around that image. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. So I do want to kind of save these trees here on the right. So don't cut those trees into the circle. We're kind of cutting them out. I'm not using them on this card, but I use them on a future card. You can also cut a little bit off the top of the house if you want, or you can bring it up and not cut them out. Totally up to you. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. This is what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to run that through my machine and then I'll show you how we put those together. Okay, so it's going to look something like that. You can see how it does add that little decorative edge on the outside as well. It's a really fun set of products. So I wanted there to be a little darker edge to this balmy blue. So I'm going to pull in a blending brush with some Night of Navy ink. Just get a little ink on that brush. Make sure to start off your cardstock, and then you're just going to blend a little of that darker color along the top. Okay, just something like that, just to give it a little deeper color. I'm going to next add this with a little liquid glue. I like liquid glue because it kind of helps me line things up. Because I can move things around, make sure that it is where I want it to be. There we go. So it's going to look something like that when you're all done. So next, let's work on the card base. So I've added this little detail to the card base, and I'm using the dots that come in the stamp set from the kit. And I'm also pulling in my Mossy Meadow ink spot. So that ink spot is from a past kit as well. And the key here is to stamp close to the edge, but not actually on the edge. And if you have old olive ink, that would also work. It doesn't have to be Mossy Meadow. It can overlap a little bit too, if you are finding that is happening. That's okay. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Then I grabbed 2 pieces of cardstock. I have soft sea foam, which is going to be my bottom piece. And then I have this really fun vellum. This is from the Basics Vellum Pack. It comes in 3 different patterns. This is the stripe pattern. And you can get the dimensions for these pieces below in the description. And they're just going to angle over one another. So I'm going to go ahead and add these with adhesive. So let's put this one here in the center. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered since they're angled. And then with the vellum, you just want to make sure that you only add the adhesive to where you're going to be covering it up. So let's add a little right here. And just place that at an opposite angle so that you can kind of see the soft sea foam peeking out in the corners. Next, I'm going to add our circle to the left side. Just like that with dimensionals. For our greeting, we're going to kind of mix and match 2 of the greetings that came in the kit. So take your real red ink and you're going to ink up this first one, which is the one I've used on my other 2 alternatives. It has the Wonder and Joy. And this is that scratch paper that we have a little left over from card number 1. And then we're going to use Merry Christmas as well. So let's go ahead and ink that up and stamp that. And you're going to want to have enough room that you can fussy cut these out. So for my greeting, I'm going to use Christmas and then celebrate and season. So we're going to do celebrate the Christmas season. So you're going to go ahead and fussy cut those out. So I've already cut this into some strips and I'm just going to cut out season here. And I'm actually going to trim a little more off of that season since it's showing a little bit from the word above it. And we do want to separate celebrate and the. And you can either fussy cut these strips or use your paper trimmer, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And then I've also fussy cut out Christmas already. So for the words that are going to be here on the vellum, I'm going to use dimensionals. And you can take your dimensionals and cut the edges. And that's going to give you a nice skinny strip that you can use for the word season. So I'm just going to use my take a pick tool to kind of play with some of these smaller pieces and be able to hold them in place. So there's that one. For Christmas, we're going to do the same, maybe another skinny little piece just near the bottom so that it can kind of overlap the top a little bit. And then for celebrate and the, let's just put a couple glue dots on them. And if you want there to be a little bit of a lift, you can roll your glue dot to make it a little thicker. You can even layer the glue dots on top of each other, which is what I probably will do. So these are paper pumpkin glue dots, so they're a little thinner than the glue dots that you can purchase from Stampin' Up. So if you have those, you could also use those since they're a little thicker. And you only probably need to roll up one. But it's kind of a great little tip if you just want a little bit of height to your elements to just roll up some adhesive to give it that little bit of height. This one wanted to stay on my take a pick tool. So I'm just using the tip of my Take-A-Pic tool to roll those glue dots around themselves. Put another one on that small piece. Okay, I probably overdid that one. Okay, so let's begin with the word Christmas, since everything kind of centers around that. I wanted this to be kind of on and off my card, just kind of near the bottom of the circle, or on and off the circle is what I'm trying to say, not the card. Okay, so I've placed the Christmas so that it's kind of on and off of the circle. Then let's add season. I'm going to place this, oops, at the bottom of Christmas, just slightly to the right. Try to make sure that it's nice and straight. If not, that's okay too. And then we're going to go with celebrate next. So celebrate, let's do the next. So we're going to add the kind of to the left and underneath Christmas. So it's just kind of sitting there all by its little self. And then we have season right above it, kind of center or celebrate. So put celebrate so it's centered right above the. It's going to cover the house just a little bit, but that's okay. So you can see how it gives just a little bit of a lift, those glue dots, so it's not totally flush, which is kind of nice. And then we just have celebrate the Christmas season. And then I felt like it needed a little bit of a pop of color here in the top right corner. So I'm going to add a little adhesive and take some of this red ribbon. This comes in a combo pack with garden green, actually. It's a really pretty pack. And kind of just fold it in half and place it in that right corner. Then I'm going to take, this is probably about 10 inches of white baker's twine, and tie a bow around that ribbon. I'm going to pull it off the adhesive just a little bit so I can get that bow a little lower. There. You don't want to pull that too tight or it will bunch the red ribbon too much. So just do it a little bit so that it looks like it's, you want it to actually be pulling the ribbon just a little bit, but not enough that it bunches it too much. So just to hold everything in place, add a glue dot or two. I'm going to place one underneath the top for that to stay on. And then I'm going to place another one underneath here to hold this top piece over just a little bit because I want them to be separated and not just stacked on top of each other. Kind of like that. Okay. And then of course, just do a little trim at an angle. There we go. Okay. So we have that little detail in the top right corner. And then the last thing you can do is maybe add a little bit of the glitter glue. I really like how it looks spread out on the rooftop. So I'm going to just do a little bit of that. So I like to add just a touch of the glitter glue first, and then we will spread it out. And you could use a little paintbrush, but I'm just going to use my finger. So spread that glue out The nice thing is it dries clear, and so if you get it a little bit somewhere else that maybe you didn't want it, that's okay. And your card is all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this fun card today. If you're interested in getting written instructions or seeing close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. If you would like to subscribe to get your own paper pumpkin kit, please do so using the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.